Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Gemini, July 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant. Great to see the subscribers back. Thank you for inviting me into your home, or your workplace, as the case may be. And for those of you who have been here before, you know that over FaceTime and Skype, I provide clairvoyant readings to people from anywhere in the world. I also provide healings, the details of which are in the description. Healing is free and without any obligation. I have to do it as part of my soul contract to make use of that spiritual gift. Now, let's see what there is in store for you. There are no advertisements breaking into this content, by the way, as you know, if you've been watching me before. I reckon it disturbs from the experience of the reading to have them breaking in. And we only take 5 cards, that's all we need. They will take us on a journey together and see what is in store for you. So, show me the magic. 6 of Wands. That's good. Queen of Pentacles. Herald of Wands. What might this be? Knight of Cups. Hello, Knight of Cups. And finally, what's this? The 8 of Cups. That's extremely interesting. Let me see how this all plays out together. The cards will interact with each other, as you know, in the suits and the elements of them. Well, they do, at least when I look at them. So, why don't I bring the camera around? You and I can have a good close look at the paintings on these cards together, while the energies swirl and speak to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Now, what a fantastic month. Do you know there's some stagnation, I think, which is being pushed out of your life at present, and you are turning into an absolute whirlwind? Might be somebody of interest there in a romantic sense, or someone that you know of who is got some unusual characteristics I'll get to in just a second. What on earth is this doing here? Let's have a look at it. Now, if we look at the painting that's here, the woman is looking behind her at what can only be described as chaos. It's almost as if there's a stagnation there and that things are obstructed. Maybe there has been something of an emotional blockage around, or that you weren't clear on something. I think maybe you could have already wasted enough of your energy on someone or on a group who really aren't giving you anything in return. You have filled them with your energy, but they are like a bottomless cup. You might be feeling empty and sucked dry. Now, I think that this is some sort of a relationship, an interpersonal situation. It could be romantic, it could be work, in which the river of energy that you give on and give out and rely on has stagnated. And the more you try to put life into a relationship which has fallen into a rut, the more powerless and empty perhaps you have felt. Well, there's no point in flogging a dead horse, you know. Now, I think that the astrology of this energy here is quite instructive, because I get Saturn in the first decan of Pisces, that 19th of February to the end of February. Well, Saturn, as you probably know, is about structure and organization and discipline. It's a heavy energy, it has to be said, even though it's very often working for your own personal good, you know. But Pisces is intuitive and spiritual and emotional, and it's as if the presence of Saturn has completely deadened the water of Pisces and suffocated the joy of Pisces. And into that number 8 there as well, which I numerologically associate with decision, among other things. The astrology is also associated with Mercury in that number 8. It's a flighty planet, a mental planet. You might be making a mental decision to just let go, because what something has been providing is no growth. Now, it is a case, though, that in connection with these other cards here, the energy is speaking to me of this being a time where the inner tides within you, they're moving about. There's a restlessness. Now, within you, there's maybe a feeling of imbalance that could have led to a sense of being lost or trapped, or maybe even emotionally overextended. Maybe you have depleted all of your resources and run out of energy. You get to feel that what brought you happiness before is no longer doing so. But there's a feeling of change stirring up within you because you begin the process of letting go and knowing that it is time to move on. This is this decision that I'm talking about here. Now, the way to understand this is to accept the change that is calling to you and then taking the necessary steps towards making this change happen. And if you do that, then there is a really cleansed you emerging to new levels of consciousness and happiness. So I do think that it is time for you to focus on your own personal truth and your spiritual growth. And actually pay attention to your dreams at this time. Very often messages come to you that way, you know. Now, there could also be a time of changing things, jobs, relationships, going somewhere else, but in particular, releasing old patterns stuck in your subconscious, or even giving up things that aren't working and starting things that will. Now here, you consciously make a choice to let go and embrace new things as a result of the insights that are coming to you. Because your authentic self is calling you to travel to a higher plane, to accept this impending change of circumstances and way of looking at yourself and the world and freeing yourself. I really do think it's the time to, I would say, to just put yourself first for the moment. Set some limits and say no. Now, it could be an old behavior pattern of yours to always direct your love towards someone from whom nothing comes in return. And there can also here be this energy can also refer to a fear of accepting love. Now, who comes to mind for you in this context? Are you ready to dare to set limits and stand by them? And in what situations do you hide your true feelings? There's a book in the Hebrew Bible called the Old Testament in Christian things called the Book of Psalms, and I'm pretty sure it's Psalm 16 verse 5 that says, "The Lord is my allotted share and portion, you control my fate." Now, meditating on that, and I'm not selling religion here, but Psalm 16 verse 5, when you meditate on that, you'll find that with every step you take and each moment that passes, you will feel comfort, confidence, and a stronger sense of direction. Now, I think we might continue up that. You have a very successful month, incidentally. I'll show you why when we get to that, and to that, and to that. But here, what do we have here? Here is someone holding, well, who is she? The Herald of Wands, Wands of Fire. It's almost as if you are holding up the flaming torch for others, showing them the way. There's a lot of Leo, Virgo, and Cancer around here. And I think this is a time in which you are going to get out of this malaise after having looked at your situation and made some decisions, where you will become very energetic. Now, you will be individualistic. You will be very brilliant and daring, I think. And I'm sure you're going to be expressive in love and also in anger. But in particular, this is a time when you are now going to find that you are freed from fear. There's a new beginning coming on after this card here. There's an optimism now. And there's an increased understanding as to where you stand and where you need to be. Now, your self-limiting fears, they can now be buried and forgotten. Now, it may well be that I think you're going to create your own beauty, by your essential life force and energy. In fact, you will bedazzle people. Now, whether it be in anger or in love, I think you're going to be sudden. There's a certain violence around here, and you won't be able to be put off course. You'll have a great ambition, and you might actually, just be aware of this, you might have an irrational enthusiasm for a person or a project. And you're not going to forget an injury during this time. And you're not going to have any patience at this time either. Well, when I say that, you will have patience, because when I say you won't forget an injury, you will have patience while you lie in ambush, ready to spend your revenge on the person who has injured you. And I don't make any moral judgment on that. But there's a huge enthusiasm here. You'll be confident, daring, exciting, probably a nonconformist, I think, very ambitious and freedom-loving, and people are going to love your character and energy. But as I say, you might be vengeful, temperamental perhaps, or a little bit unruly. You will be conquering your old fears and patterns of thought because you have brought them to the surface, looked at them and seen that they are nothing. And so you'll move on. Although it has to be said, you often learn lessons the hard way, don't you? The point is, with this aspect of the energy swirling around you, that your old fears have lost their power over you, and their dead remains cannot frighten you any longer now. Think about what you're good at, concentrate on what you're good at, and minimize what you're not good at. So really ask yourself now, what is the next step in your life? You can really go about finding it fearlessly and say to yourself, I am intelligent, I am deserving, I am free, and I deserve abundance. Now let's have a look to see what's at the other end here. It is what? It's this. Oh, look at this woman here. These spears sticking up. These look like helmets of soldiers, don't they? And as if they are raising their spears in honor to their comrades who have fallen in the battle. Very much the sun is shining all over you now, and there's good fortune and recognition coming to you from the work that you've put into things. Now, you will have skilled leadership abilities at this time, great talent in that area. Now, you've worked through struggles and you've worked through the darkness, haven't you? And victory is now in sight. In fact, I can see it just about to rain upon you. You are now feeling good about yourself and are living life without fear as you move forward with confidence towards your goal. Now, the way to look at this is to recognize that success is a stage in your soul journey, and it will unfold into another challenge and another opportunity for achievement, which leads to spiritual growth and psychological growth as well. Now, if you do that, you find that you are believing in yourself justifiably. And when you have dreams, you will have the focus and willpower to make them blossom into reality. There's a very good combination of planet and sign around here, placed there with this underneath it, because it is Jupiter in the second decan of Leo, the 3rd to the 12th of August. Well, Jupiter is the great benefic of the zodiac, And it's about love, expansion, and philosophy, and combined with the creativity of Leo, you have success in achieving your goals. Now, Leo is also ruled by the sun. And this 6 here, to me, has a mystical association with the sun as well. So there's great balance and harmony in your life now. And as if you needed it, Leo is giving you confidence and creativity, while Jupiter is giving you expansiveness that allows you to make things happen. There is a great fiery energy here that's pushing you forward. And Jupiter, of course, is a lucky planet, and sometimes luck is all that it takes to make things happen. But certainly there is victory over past troubles. Now, though you remember them, you have defeated them, and as a result, become stronger. You see, I think that all is well now, and you do have a high self-confidence from Leo, and you're able to set new goals, and you're probably going to be interested in learning, but you're going to understand what you learn. That's from Jupiter. So you have, with this energy, acquired strong leadership ability. And because I have Mercury floating around here as well, great communication as well. I do remember to honor and respect those who have supported you along the way. And your talent to work with people, you see, it brings support and harmony. Use the energy and excitement of your victory at this time to light the fire of passion in others so they can find and follow their soul self as well. And this is a reminder to you also that ultimately your success, large or small, contributes to everything around. There's opportunities here, renewal, expansion, breakthroughs, they're all coming with this energy. Brings victory and good news and blesses you with supportive friends and happy relationships. High self-esteem, as I say again, optimism for the future. Use these gifts to move yourself forward to your next goals. But remember those who are there for you and be there for them. So this really is a time for you to do what you are planning to do, because this moment promises success. Now, what do you really want to achieve? And what does victory mean for you? Say to yourself, I am now ready to enjoy success in my life. Every event in my life brings me closer to my final goal, and my victory brings benefits to all involved. Well, we shall go to have a look at what is underneath it, and it is this energy here. The painting is... This looks like a man who has looked upon the face of a beautiful woman and must lower his gaze in absolute amazement. I know I look into the eyes of women, and in there I can see forever. I have some mixed feelings about this energy that's here, you know. This is an energy, on one hand, that's this is an energy that can be good or not so good, and I'll tell you why. In the first instance, this energy is very similar to that which I feel with what's known as the Archangel Gabriel. Now, Gabriel speaks to your heart. Gabriel assists in bringing about dreams from which you can foretell the future. Gabriel symbolizes feelings and the power of love. And his element is water, and we're in the water element here as well. And Gabriel holds the chalice of everlasting love, and he's a messenger of love from being itself, from the divine. Now, when this enters here like this, I can see that this can refer to a journey over water. It can lead to heightened psychic awareness, even if you don't ordinarily have that, and it can bring about quite prophetic dreams. It is a time for you to trust and to trust your intuitive thoughts and ideas, and maybe explore your creativity through the arts. Because this is opening your heart chakra, this energy. And it does bring romance, love, kindness, a new relationship, lovely heartfelt experiences, and sometimes proposals of marriage. Have an open and courageous heart at this time, one that is passionate and compassionate. Now, there is another side to the energy here, and it could relate to somebody that's in your life. And I'm getting a lot of, the energy that I'm getting around it is very much of Libra and Scorpio. And there's desires, wishes, cravings here. This person, that could be either male or female, is subtle, crafty, sly. They're able to detach in the way that Libra, being an air sign, can detach. And they detach from the heavy, intense, and controlling emotions of that other energy I'm getting around here, interestingly, which is Scorpio. So this shows that control of the emotions and being detached, as this person could be, is often a front for somebody who's intensely insecure and actually deep down is quite fearful. This is someone that's saying that I want to have information. I am completely without conscience. I am perfectly ruthless. And I care intensely for power, very often obtained through passive aggression. And they look after their own aims because they don't feel any responsibility for anybody else and they can't be relied upon. Now, on the surface, this person could appear to be quite calm, but this really does mask a passion and an intensity which can make that person quite volatile, I think. Although they could have a lot to offer, I think they can't be relied upon and their responsibility is to themselves, and they can be secretive, hiding their deepest desires. And at worst, they can be cruel, selfish, and reckless. So just beware of that type of person who is around. But very much the message that's coming through here is that your sexual needs and passion need to be lived out with an awareness, because you're going to discover a lot in this process. So give yourself totally to the experience and observe yourself in it and ask yourself this question: what secret wishes are you unwilling to admit to? Say to yourself this, because it is definitely true for you and good for you now, is that I now live out my sexual desires because this makes me more vital and fulfilled. And that's probably just a good thing, because it looks to me as if there's a lot of sexuality around you, I must say, with respect, because this Queen of Pentacles is coming in here, and it's got one of those sort of planet orb things where planets go around. Look, this energy here is actually saying to me that you are going to find that although you're going to be generous and honest, you have a great degree of passion. There's a lot of fertility around here. You're going to be very sexy. Other people are going to find you very hard to resist. So do with that what you will. Now, when she arrives like this, she brings the gifts of abundance and material gain and helps you raise your self-esteem as if you need it by reconnecting to your soul self. And does start at the beginning of a very creative period here. I do get the real sense of motherhood and pregnancy around here. Now, I will make the observation that I do think that you probably come through something of a long, hard trek to get where you are. Incidentally, I get a lot of Sagittarius and Capricorn around here, I must say. You are going to be ambitious, but you're going to work with instinct and intuition rather than over-intellectualizing things. You'll be trying to tone things down a bit for this month and be practical, steady working, sensible, but you will have, in a kind of reticent and unassuming way, a great degree of lust and interest in pursuing the objects of your desire. And you might find, and I just bear this in mind, that you could sometimes find that you spend a little bit too much time over drinking. Very ambitious, affectionate and kind, very charming, practical. But in a sense, although there's all this, and I guess this is leading into the next month as well, go with the flow here. This is also a representation of health and diet, so you should be looking at those things for you now and go forward quietly without setting up any revolutions. You've come through an arid stretch. Now you can rest and devote some attention to yourself and your physical needs. Have you neglected your body? Devote more attention to your health and say, I give my body the gift of loving attention. It gives me the gift of life energy, joy in living and
I'm
health.
sure you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. And wasn't the artwork on the cards actually quite haunting and beautiful, don't you think? Yeah, I don't know what I'd done with this deck. I'd lost it for a number of years and I just found it yesterday. So I want to use it. Now, unless I see you again, unless I see you privately for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again in the same place next month. So until I do see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.